cry echoes around the simple loss of love in her heart, making this whole fairy tale alive. And sorrow's tender embrace, this was never meant to happen. The light of the day, the only reason you have to stay. Hear me sing my song and just keep holding on. Cinderella, why don't you stay with me tonight? We will dance until midnight comes and we could run away. Oh, we will never ever be apart. Set aside all your fears, this magic lives inside your heart. I am here, would you wanna stay with me tonight? Follow me, we will run across the bridge of fantasy. Oh, all the pain and sadness that you feel. Believe in me, hold me close, don't never let me go. Come and stay with me forever. Magic lives so long as I am here.
Oh, what a pretty intro sequence thing. I didn't want to interrupt it. Hey guys, what's up? Kendali here, and today I'll be playing Cinderella Phenomenon. I had a couple technical issues trying to record the first episode earlier, so I'm not going into this completely blind, but I've only played a little bit so far. So let's just jump right in here. It seems like a pretty basic visual novel made in Ren'Py, and it's free to play on Steam if anyone wants to check it out. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there were two crystals. One was the crystallum lucis, protected by the ruler of the fairies. The other was the crystallum tenebrarum, which was watched over by the high leaders of the witches. The lucis was sustained by love, happiness, and joy. The tenebrarum by fear, anger, and hatred. The fairies and witches lived in harmony with the human beings of the kingdom. They regulated the powers of the crystals in order to maintain balance between darkness and light. For there can be no joy without sadness, no courage without fear. The kingdom was at peace for a time. Then, one day, a traveling bard decided to write stories, tales of the magic and wonders of the kingdom. He named these stories fairy tales. In fairy tales, the light always emerged victorious, and true love was the usual reward. The fairy tales spread further than could have been predicted. The humans of the kingdom began to believe that fairy tales were true, and that the magic of the witches was inherently wicked and cruel. The witches became hated and feared. Eventually, they were hunted like animals, the witch hunt. The high leader of the witches, in all of her anger, created the fairy tale curse. "You think we are wicked? So be it! Just as you have taken our happily ever afters, we shall take yours." The witches used the fairy tale curse to attack humans indiscriminately, ultimately throwing the kingdom into chaos and darkness. The ruler of the fairies, the Lucis bearer, sought to regain peace, but the witches were blinded by their hatred for humans, who were responsible for the witch genocide. A terrible war, the Great War, began. Eventually, the Tenebrarum bearer, the high leader of the witches, was finally defeated. The Tenebrarum was lost, peace was restored, and the light once again triumphed. But darkness can never fully disappear. It waits in the shadows, patient for when its time will inevitably return. Contract sign here. My name is Kendali. Prologue. Ice Princess. My name is Kendali Riel Breton, daughter of King Gennaro Breton III. I am the crowned princess of the kingdom of Angiel. At least, that was who I used to be. But that was before yesterday, when I became a victim of the infamous fairy tale curse. Everyone has forgotten my birthright. Now I am nothing but a lowly peasant. I feel like I am stuck in a nightmare. But no, this is my reality now. I still have no idea what I must do to break the curse. I close my eyes and remember that day. It had started out like any other day. Have you heard? Another person was cursed. I'm on my way to the dining hall for breakfast when I stop and listen to the sound of hushed voices. There are two maids standing next to each other with brooms in hand. These two are slacking off again. That's terrible. What fairy tale curse was it? They say it was Pinocchio. Pinocchio? The fairy tale with the lying boy whose nose grows longer? That's awful. You know, more and more people have been getting cursed lately. You think those wicked witches are up to something again? I thought the fairy tale curses would stop after you-know-who was defeated. You two were hired to work, not talk. We're sorry, Your Highness. As can only be expected from the likes of them. Another fairy tale curse. The fairy tale curse started spreading even before the Great War began. I do not have much interest in its effect, even now. After all, most humans probably deserve to get cursed. The victims are weak. NGL would be better off without the dead weight. Wow. If it were up to Mother, the curse would have been banished from NGL the instant they fell prey to it. But Mother is not here anymore, and she will not come back, ever. Princess, the King and Queen are waiting in the dining hall. I'm on my way. The King, Ophelia, and Rod are all present in the dining hall. Someone is conspicuously missing, but I ignore their absence.
Good morning, Kendali.
Good morning, Your Majesty. Good morning, Kendali.
Kendali.
Ophelia. Ophelia Woodensov. Every day I wonder why my father, the king, married a lowly baker. She can never be a true queen, for she pales in comparison to Mother. I take my seat next to the king, then look up at the person sitting opposite me. Cute little bunny. Rod Benedict Woodensov, my stepbrother, is bored and quiet as usual. He is 2 years my junior, and is the younger of Ophelia's children. He is mute and uses a plush bunny to voice his thoughts. Creepy. It was apparently given to him by a fairy. He minds his own business and is easy to deal with. But his older sister... My eyes go to the empty seat beside him. She's probably the most infuriating person I have ever had the displeasure of knowing. And speak of the devil, I'm so sorry I'm late. I was reading and forgot the time. And here she is. Good morning, dear father, mother. Good morning, Rod. And good morning to you too, Kendali. It's a beautiful morning, isn't it? Emmeline Woodensov, Rod's elder sister and my stepsister. She acts as if we're blood, as if she too were born a princess, as if she could be crowned princess, perhaps steal my place. I will never let that happen.
Now that everyone is here, let us begin.
Those guy voices, man. I cannot do them. Butlers glide inside with silver trays to carefully serve us breakfast. Clink, clink, clink. So, Emmeline, you were reading the fairy tale books that the king brought you. Oh, yes. There's so many, and they are all so wonderful. Thank you so much, Father.
I'm happy you like them.
I love them. It's so strange that the library didn't have any of them to begin with. That's because Mother hated them. She had all the books burned. But why? They're such charming stories. Fairy tales mislead humans into believing they can have things they do not deserve. Fame, riches, love, happily ever afters. And when their wishes do not come to fruition exactly as they want them to, the humans blame the witches for granting them in the first place.
What are you implying about the witches, Kendali?
The atmosphere shifts, the air in the room growing heavy. I continue to eat. Perhaps the witches are not responsible for the evil in this world. Perhaps humans are the cause of their own downfall.
Have you any idea what you are talking about, child? Witches have caused nothing but pain and suffering to this kingdom. Even now, they still spread the fairy tale curse to our innocent subjects.
The truth is, I know very little about the time the witches had a free reign over NGL. I was very young then, and Mother forbade me to leave the palace, sometimes even my room. I know nothing of the people's supposed pain and suffering. Mother kept me away from everyone, and so I cannot bring myself to care. How do you know the cursed are innocent?
Our people have been toiling day and night to rebuild NGL after the Great War. Our people are the kingdom's foundation, and I am endlessly grateful for their determination and resolve. Every day, I wonder what your mother taught you about. Leave mother out of this.
Dear, please. Kindali, darling, your father didn't mean to—
I am not one of your children, Ophelia. I do not need your sympathy. Kindali, you will show your mother respect.
She is not my mother.
I set down my fork and knife and stand up.
I'm done. Excuse me. My father and I have never got on, but our relationship has significantly worsened since he married the baker. My father, the king, it's been 17 years and I've never felt any love from him. He treats Emmeline and Rod, who only entered our life 1 year ago, like his own children. Better than he has ever treated me. This has been my life ever since Mother passed away 4 years ago. Mother was the only one that was there for me when no one else was. If it wasn't for the accident during the Great War, she would still be here.
Why the sour face so early in the morning, Princess?
Hello. I love his character design, just saying.
Let me guess. It's the king, the queen, or Princess Emmeline. Rhymes? Or is it all of them?
I ignore his question. Fritz, what are you doing here so early?
I'm running some errands for my father. Fitzgerald Aidan Leverton, son of the highest knight of the Order of Caldera. His father, Sir Alcester, has served the royal family for many years. Sir Alcester is one of the king's most trusted advisors. 3 years ago, Fritz was assigned the honor of becoming my personal knight. His presence is the only company I can tolerate nowadays. You should wait in the throne room, then. Thank you. Princess.
Yes?
You know, I haven't seen you smile once since I met you.
Why is that of any importance?
Still, I do hope to see you smile one day, Princess. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I'll see you at 10.
10?
Don't tell me you've forgotten.
Forgotten what?
You're going to town today, remember?
I deflate as the realization dawns upon me. It has been 2 days since the king issued the order.
I assume it's 2 days ago. Kindali, I would like you to accompany Emmeline on one of her town outings.
Surely you could just send maids with her instead.
I would not have requested you to accompany her if I was going to send her with maids. I want you to make an effort to get along with your sister.
Step-sister.
She is your sister, and you will treat her and Rod as if they were your blood. 2 days from now, you are going to accompany Emmeline outside. It has been 4 years since you left the palace. Ever since then, you have locked yourself away. You barely leave your room. Angiel was in the grip of war back then, but now the kingdom is safe and back to its former glory. I want you to see how beautiful Angiel really is. Kindali, a princess must know her kingdom. Go with Emmeline, and she will show you the town that you only ever see through your windows.
Is that an order?
If it needs to be. Are we clear? Kindali?
Understood. The last time I left the palace was 4 years ago, when the king took me with him to check on the people after the Great War had ended. I shake my head, removing myself from the memory. I am safe here.
Princess, are you alright? It won't be that bad. The townsfolk are good people.
How can you be so sure?
Times have changed. People change.
That is precisely the problem. Mother never changed. Mother loved me until the end.
Sometimes change is for the better, Princess. I think you'll see that today. If you'll excuse me, I'll see you later.
Delora, do you think witches are capable of bringing back the dead? Creepy dolls. I wish you could talk to me, you and the others. So creepy. My dolls are my only friends, and they are the only ones I can trust. Unlike humans, they will never betray me. They will never hurt me. They will always be there for me. The moment I saw Delora, I knew she was special. She was different, so elegant and realistic it was almost as if she was breathing. She was a gift from the king on my 17th birthday. I only started receiving dolls from him when Mother passed away. Mother does not believe in birthday celebrations, but every year, at midnight, a letter would appear under my door. It would contain instructions leading me through the palace on an adventure to a room filled with gifts, cakes, and sweets. A child's dream. I'd been so fascinated by the dolls, which had always held a little greeting card, a card with the words, "I love you" on it, signed by M. The card would tell me to keep those celebrations a special secret, but I didn't need to be told that. Mother always found a way to show me she still cared, in her own way. The secret celebrations had stopped as soon as she had disappeared. Yes? Excuse me, Your Highness. The king has requested your presence. This better not be another lecture. Tell him I am on my way. I will see you later, Dolora. Creepy. It's like it's staring into your soul. ... Oh. Hello. Good morning, Your Highness. I feel like he needs a suave voice. Try to do those guy voices is hard. Good morning, Your Highness. It's about the best I can do. Sir Mithros? I'm gonna go with Mithros. Sir Mithros. Mithros sounds better. Okay. Sir Mithros, the royal advisor. Father trusts him a great deal, just like he does Sir Alcester. Every day you look more and more like your mother. I sometimes find Sir Mithros talking to Mother's portrait when he thinks no one is looking. He must have admired her a lot, but I cannot bring myself to think highly of him. There is something about him that puts me on edge. Maybe it's that creepy smile or that look in his eyes, sinister look. Are you on your way to see the king? I shall not keep you then. Until our next meeting, dear princess. Your Majesty? Kindali, are you ready? You will enjoy this, Kindali. I've heard the toy shop has lovely dolls. This will be good for you. You will get to know your sister better, and you will be able to interact with and learn about the people of Angiel, about our subjects. I will not learn anything I do not already know. Why do you always believe the people around you are incapable of good? Because I have seen how quickly people will betray and manipulate each other to get what they want. Mother warned me about human nature. You do not see clearly, Kindali. If you would only open your eyes, you would be able to see how good people really are. I believe I am already quite capable of seeing the true nature of people. After all, I have seen that there is no good in you. Wow, harsh. Ouch. Kindali, Where were you when I needed you 4 years ago? Where have you been ever since? Back then, I'd been overflowing with grief and pain. I just lost my mother, my entire world. I'd hoped that maybe then he would have shown me love and compassion. Even just a hug to let me know someone was there. It had been a childish hope. I had been left alone. I did not see him for months, had barely even heard his voice. You cannot rely on anyone but yourself. You cannot trust anyone but yourself. This is what you have taught me. Your Majesty. I know that I have hurt you. I know there is nothing I can do to atone for what I did. But please, Ophelia and her children are not a part of that. They do not deserve to be hated. In the end, they still matter more to him than I ever did. Kindali. Enough. I've already said I will go. Everyone is waiting outside. I shudder at the thought of leaving the palace after so many years. Kindali, it will be okay. How can you be so sure? Thank you for agreeing to accompany Emmeline. I would not disobey an order from the king. Excuse me. Oh, she has such an attitude problem. I hope her character development is good and she becomes an awesome character. Hello, how can I help? Viorica. Emmeline, Princess Emmeline, how good to see you. I trail Emmeline, ignoring her as she embraces her friend. I glance around the small shop. The dolls displayed are nowhere near the quality of the ones in my room. I cannot understand why Emmeline insisted she buy gifts for her friends here. I cannot believe I am outside of the palace. There is no need to be so tense, Princess. I would never let anything happen to you. Your only job is to relax and enjoy yourself. You ask the impossible of me. There's no need to be formal, Viorica. I'm still the same as I was. Oh, yes, Rod came along as well. So, since apparently he talks through his bunny, I'm going to give him a nice bunny voice. It's been a while, Viorica. It's good to see you too, Rod. And I must introduce you to Her Highness, the Crown Princess Kendali. The look on Viorica's face as she takes a step back from me is all too familiar. Fear. My apologies for being so rude. Your Highness, good morning. And this is Sir Fitzgerald, Sir Alcaster's son. It's a pleasure to meet you, my lady. Oh, you're Sir Fitzgerald? You really are as handsome as Emmeline described you in your letters. Her letters. I'm sorry? But please don't mind her, Sir Fitzgerald. I'm sorry, Emmeline. Right. So, what brings you all the way here? Oh, I'm here to get some toys. Gifts for some new friends. Toys from here? Are you sure? Of course I am! I cross my arms. I would prefer we finish this errand as quickly as possible. Yes, of course. I'm sorry, Your Highness. Princess. I can barely breathe in here. I just want to go back to the palace. Ding. Whoosh. So pretty. Good morning. Up until this point, I had always considered Mother to be the fairest beauty in the land. The lady that walks in proves me wrong. Her beauty is mesmerizing and clearly without peer. Everyone in the shop is openly staring. Oh, you're early today, ma'am. I have some important errands to run later today. Are the items ready now? Oh, of course. Let me go and fetch them for you. I'll just be one moment, Emmeline. ... Why is she smiling at me? Here you are, ma'am. Thank you. And away she goes. That lady was beautiful. Right? Any girl standing next to her becomes hopelessly ugly by comparison. Who is she? She's new around town. Some say that she's a fairy. A fairy. Fairies had saved NGL from the witches 4 years ago. Everyone considered them our saviors. And yet, the fairies are still unable to stop the fairy tale curse from spreading. Here you go. Thank you so much. No, thank you, Viorica. I hope to drop by again soon. Good, I'll look forward to seeing you again. I hope to see you again as well, Rod. Likewise. Perfect voice for him. Leaving the palace was a bad idea. While I am out, I am the center of attention. Some townsfolk point and stare at me. Most, however, make a point of avoiding me. Like I'm the plague. There are some spiteful stares, but thankfully none are nearly as intense as they were 4 years ago. I'm sure the townsfolk are only surprised to see you again after so many years. Right. Fritz and Rod lag behind us, which leaves only Emmeline walking beside me. I cannot decide which is worse, the staring or her company. Oh, Kendali, look! A street performance. It's been so long since I last watched one. Street performance. Cute, so cute. Good day, everyone. My name is Waltz, and I'm here to spread some happiness and magic. The boy named Waltz snaps his fingers, and colorful flower petals start to rain down from the sky. Clap, 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 clap. Isn't that pretty, Kendali? And those are the princesses are those princesses over there? It's an honor to have you in attendance. Please, accept this humble gift. He snaps his fingers, and white lilies appear in his hand. Ooh, pretty. Oh, thank you! The boy looks at me, as if expecting some kind of reaction. When he gets nothing from me, he sighs and gives me a wry smile. I hope to see you again during my next show. We'll definitely try. He gracefully bows before moving back into his area to perform more magic tricks for a gathering crowd. There are performers like this all around Angeal. I love them. Maybe someday we'll get to see some musicians too. Those are my favorite. I do not intend to leave the palace again. But you don't like it out here? Rod and I grew up here. I love Angeal, and this is my favorite part of the kingdom. I wanted to share this with you, Kendali. I know you didn't really want to come, but you still tagged along. That means a lot to me, so thank you. I did not do this for you. I'm only here because the king ordered me to go with you. I just want us to be closer, Kendali. I would like to try to be your friend. I do not want or need your friendship. Wow, she's so mean. No matter how you act around me, we're not and will never be sisters. I'd take care to remember that if I were you. But Rod suddenly grabs my hand, pulling me away from Emmeline. Stop! He is staring daggers at me. I think this is the first time I've ever seen him angry. Rod, don't. Let me go. Both of you ought to stay away from me. I feel the heavy atmosphere as I turn and look around at the people staring at us. Their expressions mirror the look of disdain I saw years ago. Anger, disgust, hatred. I begin to walk away. Princess, wait. Don't follow me. Princess! Run, 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 run. I adjust my cloak, making sure my face is hidden from view. I never should have left the palace. As I walk around, I watch the people bumbling down the streets. So carefree. They work so hard for so little reward. They could work their entire lives and never have a fraction of what I have. And yet, they are happy, and I heard Anais lost her job at the palace. It's true, Crown Princess Kendali made sure the poor girl was fired. I stopped in my tracks at the mention of my name. Not again. Anais, was that the name of the one maid that tore Dolores' dress? If so, my decision to fire her was justified. A palace maid cannot be clumsy. Why should I tolerate poor performance? What did I do that was so wrong? I know that Anais, hard-working and big-hearted, very good with medicine. Shame she lost her job so quickly. You know how hard that crown princess is to please. My friend at the palace says she doesn't even smile, only goes around with that cold look on her face. That's probably why they call her the Ice Princess. Ice Princess? So all those times I heard the servants saying that, I'd always suspected they were talking about me. She's the complete opposite of our Princess Emmeline. That child's an angel. We all know she should be crowned princess. Annoyance begins to simmer inside me. I cannot stand hearing anymore, so I walk away. Ever since Emmeline entered my life, I am always being compared to her, and now I have become second best. I am Kendali Rael Breton, daughter of King Gennaro Breton III, and the crown princess of the kingdom of Angeal. I am of royal blood. She is a nothing. There you are. Princess, you must come back with me. It's getting too late for you to remain outside. Princess? Are you all right? Are you hurt? I brush him off and turn away. No need to fuss. Let us return to the palace. Back to the palace we go. Leaving the palace was physically and mentally draining. My bed is welcoming to my unusually heavy body. I turn my head and meet Dolores' glassy gaze from where she sits on my shelf. Creepy! I left the palace today, Delora. It was the same as all those years ago. Everyone looked at me like I was... What have I ever done to deserve those looks? How can I be so hated? Ice Princess. I wish Mother was here. I look at the smiling faces of my creepy dolls. At least I still have all of you. I yawn and stretch my arms. Good night, Delora. Alright, so I think I'm gonna end the episode here. I really like this game so far. It's interesting. I'm hoping that our main character here develops a more enjoyable personality. She's kind of a bitter person right now. kind of understandable. She doesn't seem to have a lot of people in her life that care too much about her, and her father doesn't seem that good, and she just lost her mother, and etc. etc. Anyways, I'll be playing more of this game later, so if you guys want to watch, I'll see you there. Thanks so much for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day. Goodbye.